Welcome to the SC Playbook podcast for another week. It's the NBA edition of the show. We got a lot to get to. So many exciting storylines with this run into the playoffs.
And sad ones.
And sad ones. And I'm joined by my great friend, Matty G, basketball fantasy analyst, basketball fantasy supremo. How are you, my friend?
Bearded person, tall guy, Charlie White, my handsome offsider, and also Supercoach. You're avant-garde with your thinking because you've got your captaincy on one Luka Doncic, who is the second highest player in Supercoach this week. What I've got to ask you, I'm going to go back to when we were with Subski. You're like, I don't know if I can ever captain Luka again.
I know. And I've captained him several times since then. That was just me posturing, trying to make some noise early in the season.
Were you just trying to do the mislead? Like, hey guys, I'm not doing this. Just anyone copying your team, but then just flick it at the last second. Mate, 70 Supercoach points to start the week. The question is with these tanking teams, looking at schedule-wise, are you more like curious who you're going to captain each and every single week now than you have been?
Yeah.
And like who opponents are?
For sure. And mate, the other thing is like Jokic, yes, when the schedule suits, is a very dependable captain. But with this tanking thing, I'm really struggling to get my head around it all generally. Not just who I'm captaining, but who am I bringing in, all this sort of stuff. I've got to say, some of the basketball has been unwatchable. It's terrible. I can't stand this tanking business. Like, we're just getting blowout after blowout after blowout. It's a crap product.
It is. It's a horrible product for the NBA. And I know they're talking about it at halftime today. The biggest news in the NBA was 24 points in a half scored by the Brooklyn Nets. The funny thing was, because they sucked so hard in the first half, they had to do something about it and make the final score not look like it. They actually outscored the Oklahoma City Thunder to lose the game in the second half. But guys like I mentioned, Danny Wolf, a bit of a cheapie, not even getting minutes right now. What's your biggest concerns Supercoach impact-wise in Supercoach?
Well, for me, it's just I don't know who to bring in.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's actually like a bankable. And even like, you got to go for the big dogs and the good teams. Sure.
Yeah.
But you can't build a whole team like that. You got to find some cheapies. You got to find some guys to bring in. But it's because it's not just the teams are tanking. Teams are also trying to massage and rest their rosters leading into playoffs as well, and rest some guys that are a bit banged up. You see now Spurs and OKC are pretty much secured the 1 and 2 seeds.
Yep.
They're going to probably rest a lot of players. So I don't know. The NBA's got a serious problem with all of this stuff. And
OKC have been notorious at doing that this year as well. They're in a good position. They've locked it up. Jalen Williams is questionable for the next return, so we could see when J-Dub generally takes the floor. We've seen Shea rest in the past as well. You did mention tanking teams in that one. We know that I'm a Filipowski truther.
Yeah.
So bloody underwhelming. So incredibly underwhelming today.
Yeah.
Because, again, Utah Jazz, Hello City. But I kept him in my squad this week because they've got a very attractive 4 games, and 3 games in the week ahead. Tanking teams-wise, the only one up there for me in the coming weeks, 12 games the next 3 weeks heading in, the Memphis Grizzlies. And would you count a Milwaukee Bucks that wants Giannis to rest and he's telling him, no. They want to shut him down.
Yep.
But the big question here is Giannis. Does Giannis play? Does Giannis not? He's out for this week. He could return next week. The Bucks have openly said, we want to shut him down because they don't know if they're going to trade him, re-sign him, whatever's going on there.
Yep.
Who wins this out? Because they've got an attractive schedule of 4-4-4 the weeks ahead. KPJ missed a game this week. Are you going to look to the Bucks here at all?
I don't know if you can, man. Like, I'm looking at this week, for example. The highest scorer is Kevin Porter Jr.
Yes.
He's got 34 points for
Not
the
even
week.
playing the next game. Questionable for it.
Questionable for the next
Probably
game.
out.
Like, you just can't even bank on that. Like, and then if you look at Memphis, like their highest scorer is Taylor Hendricks.
Former Utah Jazz legend, 37. Ty Jerome. And these guys, Taylor Hendricks is affordable though. If you want someone to probably generate you cash off your next ones, you've got Taylor Hendricks sitting there for the Memphis Grizzlies, who could be a little bit of a shout. He's only $6.9 million. And like we say it like it's a cheap option.
Yeah.
But like guys like that, Cedric Coward, the rookie, we had Coward in a lot of our lineups early on generate some cash.
He was great.
Would you bring another one of these guys back up? Or do you just think the boat has sailed so far now they could probably hemorrhage you more cash than get you?
For me, I couldn't give a toss about making money, honestly, at this stage of the season. I'm looking to build the best roster for each week. And I wouldn't want to be bringing in any of those Memphis guys we just spoke about, like Coward, Jerome, Hendricks. I don't know about you, but I would not be touching them with a 10-foot pole.
Can we play Marry Boff Kill?
Yeah,
like
go.
but NBA edition.
Yeah,
I don't know how we do it with this many teams, but like who would we 100% take to the bank? Who
Yeah.
would we have that cheeky little one with, and who are we like not touching with the 10-foot pole of the following teams?
Okay, all right, that's interesting.
I've got to think of a way to spin it, because otherwise we're just like, oh yeah, I like them. They have an attractive schedule.
Yeah.
Yes, she looks very nice in that dress,
Yeah,
and she's
yeah,
attractive.
yeah.
And yes, we would like to buy her a beverage.
Yeah.
Of these people, are we going the Chicago Bulls? Now, this is for the next 3 weeks. We've got 4-4-4, which is a really nice run to the end here after week 20. We've got Chicago Bulls, Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham out, obviously in my lineup. Going to have to free that up because he could miss some more time potentially.
Yep.
The Houston Rockets this week, Arman Thompson popping up. The Grizzlies, who we mentioned. The Bucks, who we mentioned. A lot of uncertainty there. We've got the Orlando Magic and the Toronto Raptors. The Magic with Paolo Banchero, respectively, who's been fantastic this week, finding some form late in the season, and they are on a win streak run, the Magic. And the Raptors, Scotty Barnes from early the season, Brandon Ingram. Of these teams, the Bulls, the Pistons, the Rockets, the Grizzlies, the Bucks, the Magic, and the Raptors, who was like the dependable, you'd meet, you'd introduce them to your mother? Who will you just be like, I'll flirt with it for a week if I want?
Yep.
And who are you not touching?
So I would probably flirt with Toronto and Orlando.
Hello, north of the border.
I would even maybe say they're dependable because they've got something to fight for. They're fighting for those playoff seedings.
Yep.
You know, they're gonna if they're fit, they're gonna need to play those guys because Toronto and Orlando are on the bubble of the play-in. So I think they're gonna be wanting to play their best players. Obviously, Detroit's an interesting one because they've got now a pretty healthy lead on the Knicks. So if they could look to rest players because they're kind of almost. Like with not many games remaining, they're sort of almost secured that first seed. They've got a 3.5 game lead, and unless things go terribly for them, they're probably going to hang on to that first seed. So I would be cautious, but I would happily flirt with Detroit. Chicago, it's a funny one with Chicago as well because yes, they can try and tank.
And Giddey's been tremendous up until today as well. A really horrible showing from Josh Giddey today, but he was really good, like triple-double every single game.
Yeah, he's been great. And like, how much more can they tank, really? They're 11 games in front of the Brooklyn Nets, so they're not going to fall below them. Even if they lose every game, Brooklyn's going to lose more games than them, and so it won't matter. And then even like if you look compared to the West, so they can joggle for those draft standings. Memphis and the New Orleans Pelicans are 4 games back from them, so they're not going to end up in a position lower than them. So they may as well fight for that last play-in spot. I know they're 7 games back, but they may as well try and make that because they're not going to fall any lower than they are in the standings anyway.
I've got a bit of a cheeky one for you. Early season favorite, Matas Buzelis.
Okay, yeah.
Now he has been an absolute riser. Let's talk about risers lately. He has been on fire. He is actually the leading scorer for the Chicago Bulls this week on 52 points. He's now up to 11.9. But there is a little bit of a cheeky cheapie. I like to slot in these cheeky cheapies. Someone who's been getting some absolute minutes out of nowhere for the Chicago Bulls. He is on 34 points at $4.9 million this week. He'll obviously see a price range ahead, but he is getting a lot of minutes. His name is Leonard Miller. We were talking about like the Brooklyn Nets today, only 24 points. They had a C. Johnson in their lineup, and I was like, wait a minute, I thought Cam Johnson was traded. Did Denver just sack him back before the game? Cheney.
Good name, dude.
Cheney Johnson. Remind me of Lacey, like Lambert. What's the girl from Party of Five?
I'm not sure.
Lucy. I don't remember that one. But Leonard Miller for 34. He's at $4.9 million. Now you said you're not concerned with generating cash off the bench, but can you salivate a little bit and drool at the possibility of saving a lot of cash to run into these primos that you want and putting a guy who can do that in?
Yeah, I don't mind that strategy at all. I like that strategy, especially now because I think you want to load up with the big dogs as much as you can. So I like that strategy.
So from
have
these
you
guys
seen him play? I haven't actually watched any games.
I have. Leonard Miller looks good on the court.
Yeah.
Like he's looking really comfortable. He's one of the guys who he just wants to get a shot at the NBA. And now that he's getting minutes, he's playing well and he's continually be getting minutes. I actually have to check his minutes for today. But he has actually ramped up really nicely for the Chicago Bulls. Again today, here is his minutes. In the starting lineup, 26. So of all of them in a game that they were losing and they pulled the guys, he was still out there firing away. He does what he does. He doesn't offer a lot of... If his percentages go down, he's probably out. He had a great one today, like a great one the other day. Today, he was just offensively driven. I like guys like Trey Jones. Generally speaking, I'm more of that. But I look at the price of them. and I'm out. I'm just trying to put guys on my bench.
Yep.
Or in that 10th spot that I hope I don't need in case someone gets a really cruddy score or goes out injured, like this week, Cade Cunningham, unfortunately, which makes your 10th player valuable because Cade's
absolutely
probably going to be done unless he comes back early. But the only other guy from that list I really like from the Pistons is Jalen Duren because he's been like the little engine that could there. I love that for him, 46 Supercoach points for the week. Dennis Jenkins, if he misses time, if Cade, he'll probably be the point guard option for the team. And you could bring someone in. And
he's been dependable when he's played as well. Dennis Jenkins. I've really liked the look of him. You know, I was impressed by him. Obviously, when Detroit had those injuries early in the year and he was playing, he looked fantastic. So this week, Jaylen Brown is the leading scorer.
He is.
What's the Celtics schedule like? Have they got some games next week? Is he someone that we can sort of bank on keeping in?
He was someone we could have looked at this week. I think they play 4 this week. They've got 3 next week into the next week, but then they do have 4 and 4 the week after. The only big consideration for me is Jaylen Brown is like the bloke is all NBA first team potential this year. And I just wonder at what point does he put more of a back seat on with Jason Tatum's return and you can have the wheel a little bit, not the dueling banjos, because I think he's really established himself as a lead, like in the 1A, 1B of the team is Jaylen Brown. Like he's gone out of his way to do that. Jason Tatum hurts his all NBA first team credentials. Like, oh yeah, but we've got Jason Tatum.
Yeah, of course.
Like we've got this guy, this Team USA player, like one of the faces of the league. I'm here too. That's what it's been for years. So I do like their schedule. They do have 11 games over the next 3 weeks. You could probably bring in someone from them. I do also like the Charlotte Hornets. I know that there's Con Knipple still out there. They've got 4, 4, and 3. And then you've got some other options. I think people are going to be looking to guys from the Cleveland Cavaliers in the weeks to come as well. But the 4 week next week, the Warriors, you could get some cheapies there. The Pacers, they're tanking. We don't want to touch them. But I do want to ask you about this one. Los Angeles Clippers, Kawhi Leonard only missed 1 game and then came back and is going up against the New Orleans Pelicans. Kawhi Leonard has been an absolute superstar and Supercoach this year, hasn't he?
It's been amazing to see. Like I had sort of almost put a line through Kawhi as a fantasy guy. Yep. You know, I played fantasy a lot. I would never have drafted him coming into this year just because of the reliability of how many games he plays.
Yep. He
was fantastic for Clippers last year as well at points. And this year, it's incredible just to see him back playing as well.
Yep.
Like when he's fit and firing and playing, he's one of the best 5 two-way players in the game.
Oh,
easily,
100%.
Easily. So I'm just happy seeing him playing, in all honesty. And I love Kawhi. I reckon he's one of the most underrated players in the game as well from terms of ability. He's won 2 titles, Finals MVP twice. Just a fantastic player. And I think we said this last week. I wouldn't want to play the Clippers in round 1 if I was one of these teams.
Oh, you don't want to. No.
Yeah. Like if you finish in the 2 seed, if you're San Antonio, you're probably thinking, hell yeah, with the 2 seed.
Yeah.
We'll have someone from the play-in. But if they've got the Clippers, that's not going to be easy for, a Spurs team which is pretty inexperienced, which hasn't got those playoff wounds, hasn't had those battles. Yeah, I'd be worried about getting the Clippers.
They're and Darius Garland has really invigorated them. I know we're probably not looking at him. He's $11.5 million right now. His schedule's not great. His break evens aren't that favorable. His projections are down, but he's really invigorated that team. And you think Benedict Mathurin, who we spoke about on the pod last week, was a bring-in, then he gets injured and he's not playing. But it speaks to, I guess, the goodness, not the goodness, but just the greatness, how good Kawhi is.
Yeah.
Like Bill Simmons, I think with Tim Legler was talking about him on the podcast, like what an interesting, or maybe it was like Zach Lowe. Yeah. They were talking about like this bloke's career. His first 3 or 4 years in San Antonio, he's like 12 points a game.
Yeah.
He goes somewhere else and all of a sudden it's like, he's 25, 30.
Yeah.
He's like this all NBA historic Hall of Fame like lines. But he's almost missed the equivalent of 4 or 5 seasons.
Yes. Yeah.
With injuries and outs and the whole San Antonio. They still boo the bloke.
Yeah.
Like when he goes back there. Like he is honestly like a phenomenal player. Speaking to which today, in his first game back, just racks up a cheeky 31 Supercoach points.
Fantastic.
Like just one game. Like I'm just going to come back out here against New Orleans, who have been at times respectable. Like they're like getting a little bit of I don't think they like to lose, but they don't mind losing for draft picks. They've put together, we've had some really good runs from them. The Clippers lost today to New Orleans, but their top scorer, who's someone else we love in Supercoach, was also on 31, and that was Trey Murphy. Kawhi just rolls out, just strolls on out there and does his thing like that. Who have you been most impressed by recently in some of the recent play you've seen?
Yeah.
Who have like some options that you think I might want to bring in that guy?
So I have a man Thompson this week.
Yep.
And he's been fantastic.
Really good.
65 Supercoach points for the week, which is fantastic. I think that's from two games.
Yeah,
Yeah, so two to come for Houston.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's been incredible for me. Jalen Johnson I had this week as well. He's
Love
in my
that in your
team.
lineup. Yeah, me
so it's he's done the job.
But it's also a good return to form for him because he was like, and this is after like Nikhil Alexander-Walker. I think went 47 Supercoach points?
Yeah, well, he's on 69 for the week already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was on, I think, the other day, like racked up a cheeky, like ridiculous 47 points. And I think he was like the number one scorer all of Supercoach, which you wouldn't expect, but a great one for him. Otherwise, lineup-wise, we're talking about it. Now, their schedule is not that favorable. I know a lot of people at the last minute was really good that we had the announcement that Anthony Edwards was out for Monday's game to start the week off. It has since been revealed by the Minnesota Timberwolves that Ant Edwards, like obviously one of the biggest stars in the NBA, is out for 1 to 2 weeks. Now, I think a lot of super coaches' hands were forced because the Timberwolves next week only have 2 games. So a lot of people with foresight might have traded Ant out, but the door is open. Hello again to the man who loves the spotlight, Julius Randle, on a cheeky 63 points right now. Rudy Gobert on 62. Julius Randle, power forward option, 2 games next week. So maybe, let's say Ant doesn't come back for 2 weeks. Randle's still cracking on into the 3rd week, or they hold him off a little bit and the Timberwolves are winning games. Do you start to flirt with Julius Randle in your thinking?
Mate, absolutely you flirt with Julius Randle. He's the guy who, when you don't bring him in, he will perform well.
He'll perform well.
And when you do bring him in, he'll let you down. But you've got to roll the Julius dice every now and again. The Randle dice, you've got to roll it. And yeah, this week, 63.
2 more games to go.
2 more games to go as well. I haven't checked next week how many games.
2. They're on 2 next week.
They're on 2 next week. So, yeah, you don't want to bring him in for next week, obviously. But then the week after, you might be able to bring him in if they've got 4 games that week.
I don't like it when I hear 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I might be out 1 or 2. Okay, it could be out 3 or 4.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's just so common in the NBA.
I know, and I think they probably want to keep Minnesota fans up and about heading into playoffs. 100%. So I think 1 to 2 tells me he'd more likely be out for 2 weeks. I think you're right thinking that. But yeah, Julius Randle, if you were lucky enough to bring him in at $13 million, he's going to be one of the top scorers this week. We'll say that now, and he'll probably score 5 Supercoach points tomorrow and let everyone down. He'll have 12 turnovers.
Because we do this before it goes out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Julius Randle. Really?
Yeah.
Like, he's number 8 right now. Like, he's outscored Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
Because Jokic, again, the Philadelphia 76ers aren't playing today. Let me just score 8 points and pull down like 18 rebounds. Like, whatever. He didn't really care.
No.
I do have to say, you are talking about the bubble and the playoff push right now. They have been impressing of late. It's the Orlando Magic.
Yep.
I have trust issues with Paolo Banchero because when I brought him in, he is, like you said, like Julius Randle, like he doesn't do anything. But when he's in your lineup, you're like, what, did I bring in Paolo again?
Yeah.
He has been really well. He's owned by 15.1% of super coaches. He has been ramping up. His average has been up to 25. His 5-week average at 91. His 3-week average is 95.
That's good. That's really good.
Are we just not looking at Paolo because of that mistrust early in the season? And although it's 15%, this schedule for Orlando is really favorable. Like, and at 15.6, like, it's probably go up maybe 16.
Yeah.
Would you be looking at him as a power forward option in your lineups?
I would. I think he's a buy. How many? Because Orlando have 4 games next week.
4 games. Orlando have 4-4-4. So you're looking at a very attractive schedule towards the finish home.
Yeah.
And they need to win.
He's a buy. Is he a buy in your eyes?
He's a buy in my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a buy in my eyes.
I think he's definitely worth bringing in. 15.6 million is a pretty good price. Obviously, there's a lot of options there at power forward, but I think you got to be really strategic with your trades now running in for this front home. So if you can get someone who's going to produce at 25 Supercoach points per game around there for 15.6 million, you buy him and you bring him in. And then that's a set and forget for the next 3 weeks if you bring him in.
100%. I don't think there's any cause for it. The question is right now, he's slidden down a little bit. He's on 33 points for this week. The greatness that is Kevin Durant. There has been I got Şengün out of my lineup a couple of weeks ago. I was just irked. You know, we talked about it last week. I was irked with Alpi.
Yep.
So Alpi was out. Thank goodness, because that's freed up a bunch of other cash. The only other Rocket that has a favorable schedule is Kevin Durant. And like you said, Amen Thompson, one of your favorites right now in your lineup, has been incredible.
Solid. He's been solid all year.
He's been solid. Oh, look,
He's had his moments, but
He's had his moments.
Yeah,
he's had his moments, Charlie White.
Yeah.
He may have gone to where did you go? What was the island you went to? Bali? You might have just checked out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Bought back a jersey that was instead of Houston said like Houston with an extra N, like
Tracy McGarty instead of Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, whatever those guys. Instead of Arman Thompson, it was like Arman Thompson.
Yes.
Instead of Thompson.
Yes.
But he's taken some time off, but he is ramping up at the right time of the year. For me, he's a firm hold. Like obviously keeping him all the way. But I'm thinking about selling Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Like, just seems to be on the back end of what I don't like. He doesn't need to be the team leader right now. Thompson has that. Let's say Alpi goes back up. Do you think there is a chance right now that is he an option for you to possibly trade in this Houston Rockets lineup? Again, we've got 4-4-4. I brought him in with the intention of keeping him right there. It's the next 3 weeks is all a run home of 4 games.
I couldn't drop him. If you've got him in and he's playing 4 games.
Another primo, though.
Okay.
Him.
Well, next week, a lot of teams have 4 games. So you've got, obviously, the Raptors have some options there at 4 games, but you've got...
Would you bring, gun to your head, Scotty Barnes or Kevin Durant?
Probably Scotty Barnes.
And then the question is Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
The guy who needs to lead for the team and who's leading. He's already got 20 more points on. His averages are looking better. Is it something you would even contemplate? Because I never thought I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd get rid of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. And because there is so many options here.
Yeah.
I mean, the Clippers have 4 games next week, so you want to have Kawhi Leonard in your team, obviously. 100%. Then you've got, a bunch of other teams with 4 games, like the Hawks. Well, would you go Jalen Johnson or would
I'd
you
have
go
Jalen Johnson
over Kevin Durant?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's why I brought him back in. Like when the 2 games off and the 3 thing, he was out of there. But I brought back in JJ, and I'm very, very happy to sit with him. He's got 4-3-4. I might even hold Jalen Johnson next week on 3 to get the 4 back the week after.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a trade. Like we talk about the guys, like, even when they're good, they're better than others at their best.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson has been to that kind of incredible level this year. Charlotte Hornets-wise, like Brandon Miller.
Yeah, I do love Brandon Miller. I do like him as a player. Is he too expensive for what he delivers? Is the only question I have around him.
I'll
like
have a little bit of a look at
his
cheeky
current
Brandon.
value is $12.6 million.
Oh, that's affordable.
That's not too bad actually.
Only
His average
13
for the
this week.
season is 19.9, and they play 4 games next week. Charlotte.
You know what? Cotton Knipple, I did get him out of my lineup this week to free up some cash, but here's a bit of an interesting one. LaMelo Ball, with all his deficiencies, at $12 million at 34. It's almost a little bit of a tempting pod option for some. Like,
100%.
would you even consider that as a pod?
Definitely, mate. Definitely, I would look at LaMelo Ball. He's got 4 games next week, which is big,
And 4 the week after
and
as
4.
well.
Okay, well there you go.
Like that's a nice little schedule. You got the Utah Jazz, Keontae George probably not back in that time.
I can't touch Utah at the moment.
You can't touch Utah?
Nah, the Utah vibes are horrific. They're horrific.
They're that bad?
You've got to have Shea, obviously. Like if you're building your team next week, I think Shea's a must-have.
Yep, 4 games.
Jokic is a must-have.
Yep.
Kawhi's a must-have.
Yep.
And then I would probably want to have Jalen Johnson. And then I think you can just take your punts from there. But I think they're the 4 must-haves for next week in my eyes.
So for me, number 1 this week, and thank goodness for all the super coaches out there who brought in incredibly well-owned Devin Booker. This week, already up to 56 points in his couple games. The question was, they're so egalitarian offense. Like everyone gets the ball. Hey, Royce O'Neal, do you want some touches? Great. Grayson Allen being out has helped Devin Booker as well to drive that offense. It is his team at the end of the day. So that's been fantastic for him. He is looking at a break even this week of 93, I believe, in week 20. And he's up to 56 already. So he'll probably generate you some cash. He's at 13 now, 13.1. But you'd be rolling that money, whatever money you've got on your bench, and someone else into Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to have Shai. I know we said earlier that they might rest him, but I think as a guard, he's pretty dependable. And also, Shai wants that MVP.
He does.
So Shai can't miss that many games. Like if you're going to go anyone in Oklahoma, it would be Shai because he wants that MVP. I think he'll get the MVP. I think Jokic is sort of cruising at the moment. Like he's not really. Jokic clearly doesn't care
the game
about
last
it this year.
week, I think it happened after we chatted, didn't it?
They played. What a game that was as well.
Shai just put it on. And the shot that won the game was in Jokic's mouth.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I will do this on Jokic. And they were going head to head. It was a brilliant game to watch. Like we say about the trash that we've seen of the tanking teams. Then you see the beautiful game of basketball played through Jokic and SGA, the undisputably like 1A and 1B best players in the league.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was enthralling.
So good to watch. And that got me excited about the playoffs.
It did.
That's like the only game I'm going to be a bit harsh. It's like the only game I've enjoyed like recently. And
I love playoffs.
yeah.
And I love not doing Supercoach.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
I
You
love
just
not
enjoy
fan-
basketball.
you
Forget
just-
about the fantasy side of it.
Enjoy it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm on holidays here. Everyone's playing really
Yeah.
well. This is great.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
the teams that want to be there are there, and it's a reason to compete. I do like that. I'm going to ask you on this one. Luka, the Lakers go down to 3 weeks, 3 then 4 then 4. So a lot of super coaches might be tempted to sell, obviously, up another premium like that. The money you can get from Luka, his break even this week is 116. I think he will probably get to that. He's up to $21.2 million. A lot of super coaches might be tempted to in and out. I still say I'm going to hold something like that. I've got the money there if I can. I'd probably rather get rid of if Cade's not going to be like resting on back-to-backs, that would be my first option, but I just need some more information on his injury.
Yeah, and Detroit have a back-to-back next week as well.
They've
They've got a back-to-back Atlanta and New Orleans. So I would probably avoid
New
Cade
Orleans,
if
he
that's the
probably
game.
could be rested. That's
Yeah,
3.
100%. Yeah, so he's only playing 3. Mate, I love it. I would probably keep Luka for 3 games.
Charlie, you've said the magic words.
I've completely changed my tune on Luka, but he's the clear number 1 option now, as he has been for a long time.
And he's looking like
LA,
that men's fitness cover, Luka, right now as well. Like he's got that bit of a swagger back. The Lakers are looking good since LeBron's
100%.
come back.
They had a good win against Denver as well last week.
They did.
And I think that all those guys that you mentioned earlier in the show, those 4.9 millions, you can actually afford those cheapies. You can plug a couple of them in, and then it means you can be a bit top heavy, and you can get away with running a Shea and a Doncic. So
I think this is what we got. I think a lot of super coaches got away from that in the first couple of rounds. Like we tried to bring in these guys, more cash generation, more games. But what's always driven teams is the best of the best. And having as many of the best players as you possibly can will always help to win you fantasy. It'll help to win you super coach. It'll help to win you whatever league, whatever you're in, whenever it is. And guys like that you want to keep. The injuries are the concern. And like, again, Giannis out. The Bucks don't want to play him.
yeah,
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they bench him.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, you can play 20 minutes and then you're done.
yeah, exactly. And they'll put him on a minutes restriction for sure.
100%.
What else do we need to cover today then? Because I know we've got to wrap it up shortly because you've got big important things to be
I
doing.
do. I have big, busy and important things.
Yeah.
No, look, for me, it's that. For me, it's the schedule plays.
Yeah.
And it's also not getting sucked into those traps. We want to avoid the traps of the tanking teams towards the end. We only want to use them for guys who are getting premium minutes on cheap prices who could generate us some cash to put those money, like just to allocate the funds like into those top guys. I'm definitely making sure that I've got Kawhi Leonard in my lineup and I'm holding. He looked good today. Now they are on a back-to-back against the Pelicans. So let's see if he does play the second game tomorrow. He is listed as questionable for that one, but not doubtful or out, which is really good news to get straight away. He looked good. He looked healthy and ready to rock. And they lost today. So his imperative is to play tomorrow would be me because that would be what the Clippers would want to do. For me, I'm looking at those teams. I'm looking at guys like Charlotte Hornets, point of difference, guys like LaMelo Ball. But I'm definitely putting my faith. I think Paolo for me is the one guy I want to start doing.
Hang your hat in?
I think I want to put Paolo into the lineup next week. And I think I might be forced to fade out Kevin Durant to do that.
Okay.
It might bite me in the bum, but if I can get some more there, I'm going to probably have to do it.
Just on our way out, I want to fire some names at you,
Oh, fire names.
and you tell me what you think of them for next
Are we
week.
doing Mary Boff Kill again?
This is basically Mary Boff Kill,
Mary
but
Boff.
this is the guys with 4 game weeks. Okay,
4 game weeks, yep.
Chris Stapps.
No.
Okay, Gary Payton the second.
Yes.
Yep, 7.5 million.
I love GP.
Okay.
He's been fantastic. Hoping to return in March, though. It has been announced Steph Curry. Possibly the end of March, though, not early. But I do like Gary Payton. He has been a floor leader
Okay,
for the
all right.
Warriors.
So 7.5 million people can bring him in. And
Love
feel
GP.
comfortable. All right.
Love GP. What's his break even?
His break even.
This is-
he's only owned by 0.4% of people, and his
great.
break even is 21.
Next
So,
week?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's next week or this week.
I'm going to look. I actually really like that play by you, Charlie.
Yeah, okay.
I think he is fantastic. I like Gary Payton. He's up to 50 cheekies already. Don't fall into the sucker trap as the abolition of how great Chris Stapps is.
Yeah.
Because of his stuff. But next week, what is his break even? That could be a solid play. 45.
What
next week.
about the one and only Jalen Slawson? I hadn't heard of his name. He plays for the Pacers. He's 3.7 million. He's had 49 Supercoach points this week.
No, I don't trust it. They're all over the place.
Yeah,
And they're the Pacers. So no. But I will tell you someone else who's on my little radar at 7.7. Javon Small.
Javon
the
Small,
Memphis
yep.
Grizzlies.
I like Small.
They've got a schedule that I'm kind of favoring.
Yeah.
Looking through their lineup as well, I am also. I'll give you another name you've never heard of. J. John Giroux. It sounds like the old chimney. J. John Giroux. He plays for the Memphis Grizzlies. $3.5 million at 27 points already for the week. That's a plug and play bench guy if he's going to get some more minutes moving forward that you could probably get away with. Just throwing him there on the bench. Again, guys you haven't heard of, guys who are going to play 25 minutes. All you need, I think, in basketball to get some kind of return on, especially if you're not expecting much, is 25 minutes a night. And guys like J. John Giroux, what's his break even next week? It'll probably be, I hope it's negative. I don't even think he has one. I don't think they've even predicted it. Actually, his break even this week is 19. There is no stats for him whatsoever on that.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
That's
there you go.
incredible.
22 points next week. If he gets minutes, he could probably do that quite easily.
Yep.
And he could get you some cash. But I like my negative guys.
I like it.
Anyone else?
No, that's it. I like that. I like the Gary Payton play now. You've sort of convinced me. I was sort of on the
At 7, yeah.
teetering at 7 million. He's a good option for sure. And then we can load up with Shea and Luka. Jokic the captain though again next week.
Jokic the captain.
Yeah.
Like this week again against the teams that have been atrocious. The Philadelphia 76ers are playing for donuts. Today, much better outing for Jokic. I think we'll continue to see that. For me though, if you are looking for a point of difference and if we know he is fully healthy, I would be very tempted to captain Kawhi again, like I have previously, and he's done me well. I would be I would have to look at the deep dive, but for me, Kawhi next week would be my other
pod
my other pod captain, or Shea.
Yeah,
obviously. So it's one of those three would probably get me there every single time. That's probably where I'm sitting, man.
I like it, Matty. I like it. Good to see you as always, my friend. Sumsky, I'm not 100% sure where he is on the...
I think he's in America.
He's in America.
Maybe South America. Abducted by Colombians.
Okay,
I don't know.
He's having a good time in Colombia.
He's having a very good time.
I'm sure you can have a great time there. But I also want to know where he is on the ladder. If he's still in the hunt for Supercoach immortality.
He has been absolutely firing away. I've got to bring up his league thing. I've got to look at the overall because Sumsky has been absolutely cracking away. Where is his overall one here? He is, where is he? Yeah, he's gone up to 17.
Wow. Okay.
So he's cracked the top 20. He's gone up 2. So Sumsky has been flying last week. He's right now he's on 544 as well.
Yeah.
So he is firing on all cylinders right now, our boy Sumsky. And we'll catch up with him hopefully next week. And what's it like just to feel like you're in the top 20? And this is the crazy thing. I've seen some massive movements in the top. Let's talk about, just before we get out of here.
Yeah, of course.
I've seen some massive people. Like I've seen guys getting like scores in the mid to late 400s, early 5s already, down on guys they bought in, and they're rising up the positions. Like I've seen a guy, where was it today? 499 he's got.
Wow.
Where he is. So under the tops of the 500, like the bracket you'd like to be in right now, he's gone up 85 places.
Yeah.
Got a guy on 470 who's up 55 places into the top 500.
So some people are battling this week.
Some people are battling this week, and there's a lot of movement up the top. I've seen people going up there and cracking back into top 10 this week. So it really is pointy end. And I think when people lose their focus on basketball and the AFL season and the NRL season all culminates right now in Supercoach times, I think people forget to do what they need to do.
Absolutely.
And that's a window of opportunity. So make sure if you're an NBA Supercoach, if you're flying, just get it done.
Now's your moment to pounce.
Now's your
moment to strike. I'm one of those people who's been caught up in the NRL world and been making some poor decisions on my Supercoach, but that is okay. We live and we learn. Great to see you, Matty G.
You too, Charles.
I'll see you next week.
You will do, brother.